morning, students. Welcome to this orientation session that will just give you some introductory tips on the module LSP1501. And as you can see, the name is quite long and it covers life skills. More specifically, the content areas: performing arts, visual art, music, and physical education. You probably would have noticed already, if you have paged through your study guide, that the study guide consists of 3 different sections. So the sections in the study guide are as follows. Section B, which is the visual art, the lecturer will be Mrs Malimela, and on the screen you will have an email and her phone number. Then I will be responsible for section A, that covers the performing arts. It's music, dance, and drama. And there you have my email address as well as my phone number. And then the last section, section C, which deals with physical education, will be covered by Professor Roux, and on the screen you will also find her contact details. Whenever you have inquiries about the content of the module or assignments, you are most welcome to get in touch with us. We prefer that you rather send us an email, because we are often in seminars or workshops or in meetings, and we may not be able to take your phone call. So it's preferred that you rather send us an email. But I'll talk about the communication a little bit later in the slide as well. What I want to cover in this presentation is basically just to touch on the online teaching and learning platform and what is required from you as a student studying through a distance learning institution. Then I'm just going to talk about the tutorials that will be made available to you and how you will be linked to an e-tutor. I'm going to refer to the assignments as well. And then lastly, I will deal with communication. So that is these are the 4 things that I will cover in this presentation. As you know, you are studying through an open distance learning institution. And I think the pandemic has propelled us even deeper into adopting fully online teaching and learning strategies and assessment. And last year was our first year that we have moved towards online examinations as well. So that is the way to go for the future. There is therefore a greater responsibility on you as a student to make sure that you can log into your MyUnisa account and that your MyLife email is active, and that you log in regularly to read the announcements and access all the teaching and learning tools that is available to you to help you with your studies. Just one note, I've already received some emails from students saying when they go to MyUnisa and they click on the module, they don't find the official study material, because these will also no longer be mailed to you. You will have to download that from UNISA. So students say they click on the module site, but they don't see the official study material tool. This is what they see. But what they don't realize is they have clicked on the arrow next to the module name, and what opens up for them is just a snapshot of the tools. It's just a limited or suppressed menu option. So if you ever receive this and there is no official study material tool, it's because you haven't accessed the full menu list. The last option that you will see is go to the site to view all. It means you will have to click on that last option to actually go to the site. If you just see this, you're not on the site. You have to click the last option, go to the site to view all. And then in the next slide, I will show you where you will find online teaching and learning. All the tools are organized alphabetically, but only then will you find online teaching and learning, and that's where you can access and download your official study material from. We don't have a prescribed book for LSP 1501, there's just a study guide that you need to download. Then you will find tutorial letter 101 with general information, and also take note that tutorial letter 101 contains assignment 1. That is the first assignment that is due, and it deals with physical education. We've also released a very short tutorial letter, a 001, just confirming that there is no change to the submission dates of the 3 assignments. It stays exactly as was communicated in tutorial letter 101. Then I'm not sure if it has been uploaded yet. There are 2 more tutorial letters to follow. The 102 will contain assignment 2, the visual arts assignment, and tutorial letter 103 will have assignment 3. So just go and have a look. Perhaps it has been released already. Then in tutorial letter 101, we've made some recommendations in terms of recommended books that you can get from the library. Should you so wish, it may help expand or extend your knowledge, and also some e-reserves. It's articles that you can read up on, and those are available from the library. So this is basically to come back to your My UNISA module site. If you've clicked on click to open the full site, or you've clicked on and the site opens, on the left side of the screen, you will find all the tools available to you that will assist you with your teaching and learning. So basically the very first tool that you will probably use the most, I see I've missed it when I made the screenshot, is the announcement tool. And when we send announcements, we usually click to activate a notification, which means that you will receive an email notification to your MyLife email that will notify you that we have published an announcement. So that is very important. That's the tool that most students use. Then the discussion forums tool is for the use of students. Students set up forums where they chat amongst themselves, they share their emails, their phone numbers, they organize themselves in WhatsApp groups, and they ask questions relating to the various assignments. It's basically a tool or a site where students chat with one another. The discussions tool is what lecturers use whenever we are busy with teaching in the learning units you see there below, learning units 1 to 6. Often we want you to engage in a discussion, and then in the learning tool, we will ask you to go to discussions to a specific forum that we have set up beforehand and participate in a discussion. There are already 2 discussion forums available where students have started to engage with the lecturers. The first one was a discussion that I've set up. It's linked to the orientation unit, where there are some discussions where we've asked students to just share what their expectations are for LSP 1501 and what they hope to learn. Then there's also another discussion in that forum where we ask students to share their strengths and weaknesses, because LSP 1501 is made up of 3 different sections, and students shared which one they feel confident teaching and which ones they don't feel so confident in teaching. And Mrs Malimela has also set up already a discussion on visual arts as well. So those are available already, and you're most welcome to go on there and start chatting with us. Then there you will find the official study material tool. I've already alluded to that. And then we would really, really like you to participate in the online teaching and learning. Studying through an open distance learning institution can be a very isolated and lonely journey if you don't log in and participate in the online teaching and learning activities. We provide them to you, but it's up to you to go onto the module site and access all the support that is available to you. The orientation unit is already active and students are already participating there. And I've already posted in Learning Unit 1 some activities, and I've also released a tutorial covering the content of Learning Unit 1. So please, it's up to you to make sure that you access the tools that is available to you. We've also decided that instead of having maybe a mid-year and towards the end of the year long tutorials trying to cover a large content, we are going to release tutorials more regularly that will just cover snippets of the content. And the aim of these tutorials is to help you to apply the theory. Then you will also be grouped to an e-tutor. So when you go onto My UNISA, you will find that you have access to the lecturer's site, and that you can distinguish from the e-tutor site is that the lecturer's site contains the module name, LSP1501, the year 21, and it ends with a Y1. If it ends with a Y1, it's the lecturer's site. The e-tutor that you will be linked to, we have hopefully 6 e-tutors this year to support our students, because we have almost 6,000 students for this module, registered for this module. So the e-tutor site will have an E towards the end. So you will either be allocated to E1, E2, E3, 4, 5, or 6. And you have access to both the e-tutor site that you are allocated to, as well as to the lecturer site. Now I'm moving on to assignments. There are 3 formal assignments for LSP 1501. Assignment 1 that deals with physical education is already due the 14th of May. Thereafter follows assignment 2, which is due the 25th of June, and assignment 3 that deals with music, dance and drama is only due on the 30th of July. What we really want to highlight is that this year, no lecturer in our department will accept any late submissions sent to us via email. Reason being is that students just delay until the very last moment, and when they try to upload, they wait until the last moment, and the system becomes so congested that you cannot upload. The system is just simply collapsing. Or students submit an incorrect document, the incorrect assignment from a different module, just to submit for the sake of submitting, and then later on they send an email asking us to replace with their submission that they sent via email. And so if you send us an incorrect document, we will give you 5% for that. We will not accept the correct document after the due date. Also, if you know that you are not going to submit in time due to some or other unforeseen or foreseen challenge you have, it's quite different when you fell sick and you're being hospitalized. We know it's COVID, we know people get sick, but then you need to submit a doctor's certificate proving that you were sick. If you have any other challenge, please try and notify us beforehand, so that we avoid the situation of many students almost 2 months after submission still trying to send us the assignments via email. We will not accept that. This is so that you become accustomed to the practice that in online examination, you have to be present on the day of the examination. You have to download your paper online. You have to submit online in time, because we don't accept late exam submissions via email. And the same rule applies for the assignments. So the online exam will probably take place towards the end of September, beginning of October. And to help you prepare for the online exam, we will schedule a mock examination, of which we will communicate the details closer to the time. Then just as a summary, the assignments, the 3 different assignments, just take note, each and every assignment is a full assignment totaling 100 marks. Assignment 1 contributes 35% to the year mark, the same with assignment 2, 35% towards the year mark, and assignment 3, 30%. So if you miss either one of it, it's a 30% that's just gone. Then you know you have to work so much harder during the exam because we're not going to take late assignments. When you submit your assignments, please make 100% sure you submit the correct document. So in the tutorial letter 101, we sort of like give you a protocol, a naming protocol for how to save your assignments, so that when you browse, you are sure you select the correct document to submit. If you also submit long in advance, before the due date, you still have time once you realize that you've submitted an incorrect document to go and cancel and resubmit. You have 3 opportunities to submit. So there is no reason for you to come after the due date and just ask for a resubmission, because you already had 3 opportunities to resubmit. Then regarding the exam, as I've mentioned already, it's going to be an online examination. Last year, we've given students, because it was the first year, and we realized students were nervous and they may have challenges with access to the internet, and they're unsure about how and where to download the exam paper and where to upload the answer files. We've given students a 6-hour time frame to access the paper, to write the paper and to upload again. But we've realized that, that this opens up many opportunities for students to just abuse the system and start communicating with one another and chat on platforms where you share information and exchange answers. So this year we've decided to reduce the 6 hours. I can't tell you at this stage how long the exam will be, but it will most definitely not be 6 hours. Then the exam paper will be out of 3 different sections, and all 3 sections are compulsory. And section A will be 35 marks, section B 35 marks, and section C 30 marks. The focus, because it's an online exam and you have access to Google and to people and to your study guide and to your study notes, we focus on the application of theory. So in the online exam, we will never ask you questions to just name things or list characteristics or whatever, which will allow you to Google the information or turn to a specific page in your study guide and just to copy and paste the information. That is not what is required in an online exam. We focus on application of theory. What we've noticed from last year is that students tend to think an online exam is easy because you have access to all these documents, your study guides and study notes. And then they don't study. Actually, online examination is even more difficult than a venue-based exam. If you don't know your theory, you will not be able to apply. So right from the beginning, I want to warn you that you don't fall into the trap of thinking that online exams are easy because you have access to your study guide. We will not ask you information that you can copy directly from your study guide. You will need to apply. And that's why it's so important that you access the MyUnisa teaching and learning support tools, because that is where we will help you and support you to take the information, the theory, and make it practical and to apply it in a real classroom setting. Then the last aspect I just want to touch on, and we've already shared these in various announcements that we have sent out since the beginning of the year, is to always use your My Life email. If you send us an email and you use your Gmail account, we will not answer your email. It's university policy that you use your My Life email, and it's also a requirement of the POPI Act to protect personal information. So we will not respond to your communication if you send us an email using your private Gmail. So make sure that your My Life email account is active and working. Always, when you send us an email, provide your student number and the module code in the subject line. Reason being is, as I've already mentioned, there are already 6,000 students registered for just LSP 1501. So don't assume if you just use your name that we will know who you are. We can't follow up on any queries if you don't provide your student number. Also, most lecturers teach more than one module. So also don't assume that we will know you are referring to LSP 1501. We teach more modules, so please say which module your inquiry relates to. Try to send us emails, as I've mentioned in the beginning, and not just phone. You're welcome to phone, but we may just be in a meeting or in a workshop and we won't be able to take your phone call. And often the network connection is really bad, and we battle to properly hear one another. So this is really important regarding the communication. So from my side at this stage, this is what I've wanted to touch on. Teaching and learning through a distance learning institution, like I say, depends on your active participation, how you organize yourself into study groups, and how you access the e-tutor sites and make use of the e-tutors. Don't tackle this on your own and battle through the module content. If you have a challenge, just get in touch with either your lecturer or your e-tutor, or whatever challenge you may have, address it in your study groups, but get the help and support. The more active you are, the more successful you will be in your studies. And then lastly, just keep an eye on all the announcements and all the tutorials that we will release on a regular basis throughout the year. Thank you very much.